I stopped telling everyone my business, and this happened. Welcome to Virtuous Talks. Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. Here we talk about wisdom, personal growth, and lessons that help us move through life with peace, purpose, and faith. Before we begin, if messages like this encourage you, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who might need it, and feel free to leave a comment about your own experiences. Now let's talk about something many of us learn the hard way. Have you ever shared something personal with someone and later wished you hadn't? Maybe it was a dream you were excited about, maybe it was a plan you were working on, or maybe it was something you felt God placed on your heart. But instead of support, you received doubt. Instead of encouragement, you received negativity. At some point in life, many of us learn an important lesson. Not everyone needs to know everything about your life. For a long time, I used to share a lot with people around me. I would talk about my plans, my ideas, the things I wanted to accomplish, and even the struggles I was going through. And while some people truly cared, I began to notice something. The more I shared certain things, the more complicated my life seemed to become. Sometimes people misunderstood me. Sometimes they judged my decisions. Sometimes they gave advice that didn't align with the direction I felt God was leading me. And other times, I realized that not everyone had the best intentions with the information I was sharing. So one day, I decided to make a change. I stopped telling everyone my business. Not in a rude way, not because I stopped caring about people, but because I realized something very important. Wisdom often requires quietness. The Bible reminds us of this in Proverbs 13:3. He who guards his mouth preserves his life, but he who opens wide his lips shall have destruction. There is wisdom in knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. There is a difference between being open and being wise about who has access to your life. Not every person needs to know your plans. Not every person needs to hear your struggles. And not every person is meant to walk closely with you in every season of your life. When I started becoming more careful about what I shared, something interesting happened. My peace increased. I stopped worrying about people's opinions. I stopped feeling the pressure of explaining my decisions to everyone. And I started focusing more on what truly mattered: my relationship with God, my personal growth, and the direction I felt my life was supposed to go. Sometimes when we talk too much about our plans, we invite too many voices into our journey. And not every voice is meant to guide you. Some voices bring doubt. Some voices bring fear. Some voices try to convince you that what God placed in your heart is impossible. But the Bible gives us wisdom about this too. Proverbs 21:23 says, "Whoever keeps his mouth and his tongue keeps himself out of trouble." When you learn to move with wisdom and quiet confidence, something powerful begins to happen. You start to protect your peace. You start to guard the vision God gave you. And you stop allowing unnecessary negativity to influence your path. This doesn't mean you should never talk to anyone about your life. We all need trusted people. We all need wise counsel. But wisdom teaches us to be careful about who we allow into certain areas of our lives. Proverbs 11:13 reminds us, "A gossip betrays a confidence, but a trustworthy person keeps a secret." There are people who celebrate you genuinely, and there are people who only want access to your life out of curiosity. Learning to recognize the difference is part of growing in wisdom. Sometimes the things God is doing in your life need time to develop quietly, just like a seed planted in the ground. Before anyone sees the growth above the surface, something important is happening underneath. Roots are forming. Strength is building. Preparation is taking place. Ecclesiastes 3:7 reminds us that there is a time to keep silence and a time to speak. Sometimes sharing things too early can expose them to unnecessary doubt, criticism, or misunderstanding. There is a time to speak, and there is a time to move quietly. When I began protecting my privacy more, I also noticed another change. I became more focused. When you stop explaining your life to everyone, you gain back a lot of mental energy. Instead of worrying about what people think, you start focusing on what truly matters: your growth, your purpose, your relationship with God. and something else happens. You become more observant. When you're not constantly talking about yourself, you begin to see people more clearly. You notice how people react to your silence. You notice who genuinely supports you. And you notice who is only interested in information rather than connection. This kind of awareness is valuable, because not everyone deserves full access to your life. Some people are meant to be acquaintances, some are meant to be supporters from a distance, and a few are meant to be trusted voices who walk closely with you. But that circle is usually much smaller than we think. Learning this lesson changed the way I move through life. I still care about people. I still believe in kindness and connection. But I also believe in protecting the things that matter most. Your peace is valuable. Your dreams are valuable. And the plans God places in your heart deserve protection. Proverbs 4:23 says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." Not everything needs to be announced. Sometimes the best thing you can do is work quietly, grow quietly, and allow the results to speak for themselves. Let your actions show what words cannot. Let your progress speak louder than explanations. And remember that wisdom often looks like silence. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this. You don't have to tell everyone your business for your life to move forward. In fact, sometimes the greatest growth happens when you stop seeking validation and simply walk the path God placed in front of you. Protect your peace, guard your vision, and trust that what is meant for you will unfold in the right time. If this message encouraged you today, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who might need to hear this message, and leave a comment below. Thank you for spending these moments with me. And remember, sometimes moving quietly is not weakness. Sometimes it is wisdom.